Greetings and salutations.
Hey everybody, I am Sam, and this is After the Bars morning mayhem show for now. Yes, I think I was thinking of changing the name from Mayhem. I don't know. I felt like originally with my co-host, it was kind of mayhemish, mayhemy. I don't know. Maybe it stuck with a lot of you. But good morning, and good afternoon to some of you over across the pond. It's good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Oh, that reminds me, my daughter gets out of school early today. Got a great show today, guys. We're going to talk about exactly what I said we were going to talk about yesterday, which is, hey, Ned and Coco Speech Shop. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, which is about TPUSA faith. There's been a lot of controversy going on about them. I'm not going to get into all the financials or anything like that, but I just strictly to kind of segue from yesterday into today from Candace Owens, and then all the accusations of her being an anti-Semite and not being a pro-Philadelphia, that country in the Middle East that we get shadow banned over. So I just don't want to say it in the first, 4 or 5 minutes, but so we're just going to segue into TPUS's faith, or what I would like to call them TPUSA unfaithful, at least unfaithful to Charlie Kirk's vision. They might be faithful to the management of TPUSA now, but that's all changing, and a lot's come to light. I don't know if you guys get a chance, check out Candace Owens's live stream from yesterday. There's a lot of information in there, and it's very sad. It's very sad. And before I go fronting out all these pastors, just know that I'm doing it as I'm doing it as a fruit inspector, as a Christian, and as someone, I call on my Christian brothers, my spiritual mentors, pastors, in my life to call me out and to inspect my fruit and to appropriately guide me to where I can go or be to improve myself. I'm gonna, because I'm not a Bible scholar or really, I'm just a baby, in my faith. Maybe 4 years old since I've been born again. And so I'm just kind of half jumping on the bandwagon, if I'm honest, to talk about these pastors, but more so just to kind of help me understand where this is all heading. You guys really need to go check out Candace's show. Not right now. Do not leave. My numbers are bad enough as it is right now, but we're just coming back, trying to hit the ball out of the park, if you will. And I'm going to check in with you guys in the chat here before we get the ball rolling too heavy. I want to apologize to my other keeper. Wasn't able to participate in our trivia yesterday just because we have a lot to do. The whole house is torn apart right now. So I just had to get busy with that. But next time for sure, I definitely want to join her. Hopefully, if any of you guys went over there yesterday to join my sister in Christ, trivia show. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. I feel like with shows like that, even if it's just like three of us, as long as we're just hanging out and having good, clean fun, then it's a blast and it was worth it. And I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But anyways, that's the show for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'll be right back in 2 and 2. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas.
Wake up, Sam. He's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam. We've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is morning mayhem. Welcome to the show.
Man, I can't change the name. I mean, if I change the name, I would lose my badass theme song, or I'd have to do a new one. So no, name change is not going to happen. I'm glad to see you guys all came back again today. I think the ball is rolling, and we'll just wait and see. It's so funny. You know, I wish there was a way that I could block the live viewer count that I see, because like I'll be talking and I'm going to stop doing this. I'll be talking about one subject and then it'll go from like 17 to 10 and while I'm talking, and I'll be like, how about them Dodgers? Man, the Dodgers are doing great. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, let's get to it. Tan Louise, good morning to you, or good afternoon rather. Ned and Coco Speech Shop. Hey, how are you doing? It's good to see you. It's been a few. James Collins Cares. I'm so sorry you're sick, brother. Yeah, that really sucks, man. I hate it when you're sick, not because you can't be here managing the mods, but it's just as I look, and there's like everyone's a mod here so far. Well, it's because I made everyone loyal and who I trust a moderator. So you guys are all just getting ready for when we have 2,000 people in the live chat. A lot of live chats have been going crazy these days. Baron Coleman, we are going to see a couple clips from Baron today. Also, he went from having 3-4 people in his lives to 10,000 people literally overnight. I'm telling you, it's literally overnight. I would be overwhelmed. But you know, when you get to that point, you don't really worry about like losing 4 or 5 people. You know, 100 people in, 100 people out is probably going to be normal. Yeah, if not more. But anyways, where was I? Shell Dubs in the house. Oh, I forgot to do. No wonder he's sick, because he knew I was not going to do his horn. Let me just back up for a second. I have a backup sound. Where is it? Oh man, I lost my backup sound. Well, I had a really cool backup sound. Oh, here it is. Let me just back up real quick. I'm gonna get these sounds done right. James Collins Cares in the house. Can we have some prayers and well wishes for James Collins? I really appreciate it. Shell Dubs in the house. Dub. Good morning to you, Shell Dub. Who else is here? My Other's Keeper. Good morning to you, Kim. Good to see you. Becky USA. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, and it's good to be back, Becky. It truly is. And if you missed any of the other shows, man, go check them out. They're very informative. I'm just kind of like where I'm at, where the community's at. We've had a few good chats. So yeah, it's awesome to be back, and it's good to see you. James, Awaken, good to see you. And yes, hey, I will be talking to you today, for sure. I did see your message on the way out yesterday. I put it up on the screen during the outro just so you could know that I seen it. And I just got sidetracked really fast and wasn't able to text you or email you and say, hey, yes, very, very soon we will get together. Like, I know it has to happen fast. So it'll be today. King Yeti, good to see you. Howdy, heathens. I feel like a heathen most days, in a good way, man, in a good way. And so, like, yeah, I love it. See who else is here. Chrissy for Cats Newton, good to see you. Man, I catch myself Sam-splaining so much. It's unbelievable. James Collins, because I sent you an awesome short vid of a pastor talking about a famous painting and a chess player. Okay, I will check that out. James. Yeah, I will check that out. And also I have a new rule. My phone, like if I accidentally mute myself, which happens every other show, I'm going to have my phone completely up and running with the ringer on. So if you guys text me that, hey, you're muted, I will see it right away because, when I'm on a roll, I don't look at the chat too much. But good to see you, Chrissy for Cats Newton. Who am I missing? Shareable Barrel, Banana Faniful Farrell. Good to see you today. Cherry May, good to see you. Awesome. I missed yesterday's show. Do I need to watch that one first? No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, go over and check it out. And if you could leave a like, that'd be great if you like it. And I'm totally down. Like, look, if you guys don't like it or don't like a topic, please let me know with a dislike. I mean, I say that to be fair, like I don't really, really want you to leave a like, but of course I want you to leave a like or else. But yeah, either way, yeah, go check that out. Cherry, it's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while either. James Collins Cares, Awakened. Oh man, no Anti-Monkey Pants. I was really hoping to see Anti-Monkey Pants today. I have a surprise for her. My wife and I, we're the kind of parents, people, friend that when we buy you a gift, it could be a Christmas gift, birthday gift, anniversary gift, whatever. It can be for anything, a 4th of July present. If the party's tomorrow, but we have it today, you might just see us today before the party and us giving your gift. I think we've already given Hazley 1 or 2 of her Christmas presents already, just because we just can't help ourselves. It's funny, when I want to do it, I really want to do it, and she stops me. And when she wants to do it, I want her to do it too, because I love giving gifts and being there especially if it's Hazley, when she's happy. But yeah. So, anyways, I have this gift for her. I mean, it's not a gift, but I have a thing for her that is going to be part of the show, and I just want to introduce it to the show, and I almost want to just do it now. But I'm going to wait for her. That way she doesn't like catch it on a replay. I just really want to surprise her with it when she comes into the chat. So hopefully I don't forget. But it's super cool. It's super fun. I better quit talking about it because I'm just going to want to just show you. All right, let's get to it, man. If you guys don't know who Coach Collins is, or Coach Colin, is it Coach Colin? Coach Colin Cares. No, not Coach Colin Cares. That's James Collins. Hold on. My thing is messed up. Yeah, I am Coach Colin. He's a badass. I love watching his stuff. Sometimes if it's like a slow news cycle, or if he covers a lot of Candace, but he covers a lot of things. He's not pigeonholed into just Candace. And but he's been covering a lot of Candace lately because this story with Charlie Kirk and her timeline and investigation is building up to it's gonna be a global event. I mean, look, it already is a global event. Just the assassination of Charlie Kirk has become global and viral. And then now not just her coverage and her own investigation of the assassination of her close, dear friend, and I mean they were close. She's showing text messages of past and of the recent past, and they adored each other, and they were truly besties. And I had a friend like that, and she took her own life, and you can ask my wife. I was not good for a long time, and if I wouldn't have had my wife, I probably would have twisted off into another. I mean, I would like to think I wouldn't have, but I probably would have at the bare minimum started drinking daily. That's just where I was at, even though I know that doesn't bring them back or fill the void. I was beside myself, and at first I blamed her. It was her soon-to-be ex-husband, that he had something to do with it. But then I realized, he's too big of a puss, and she could have overpowered him because he's just a widow guy. And I apologize to him for that. I talked to some detectives. I just say, will you just please look into it? And I wasn't the only one, because he was had some psychotic tendencies at the time. So, man, the Samsplain is just in full effect today. So I understand her grief, and the only way she knows how to deal with her grief, and it's intense grief, is to get some questions answered that she just wanted answered. I mean, look, she even said, like, regarding the Brigitte Macron, her exposing her as being a male and not a born female. She even said, because Charlie had asked her to, hey, could you just shut it down for a little bit? It's coming from the White House. And they had told her it's hurting their feelings. That's what the message was related to her. And she's like, I don't care. But she explicitly said, like, if they just would have came to me like, hey, this is, regarding, if they could have just said without proof, if this is regarding, it's regarding national security and our relationship with France, I truly believe she would be a woman of her word and just would have shut it down. Be like, you know what? She is a patriot. She is a patriot. A lot of people would say that because, her opposition to our current president and opposition to TPUSA and other things that those are traitorous tendencies. Do you mean to have free speech against, for, or to oppose in a respectful way is traitorous? God, man, is that really what it's come to? I mean, just by example, them assassinating Charlie Kirk, if we're to believe the narrative, it was done because of his free speech, because they portrayed him as a bigot, a racist, and a homophobe. If we would have, and I hate crying civil war, because I feel like it's kind of a tagline now to say civil war, and people are kind of, jumping on it. And I've talked before of the RAHOA, the racial holy war, that white supremacist groups dream of. And I think even Antifa dreams of that. And I do believe that we are close, or we're close to some of that being kicked off. It's not biblical. I mean, I don't know exactly what the white supremacists think about RAHOA, about the origin or where it would grow from. And you might say that it's prophesied in the book of Revelation, and they might attach their cause and their, delusions to the book of Revelation, and they're just saying, this is it. This is the racial holy war, when really it's just, a political war here in our country. So I don't know. But Candace is she has lit a fire, and not a very good fire, positive fire, underneath a lot of these pastors' rear ends. If I'm to be rated G today, she really has. And we're gonna watch a few clips from Coach Colin, and then I'm gonna bring up some things off of X, and we're gonna talk about that. And then we're gonna end it with some Baron Coleman, who I just love and would like to emulate. Like, I'm really looking to him as a podcast coach in a sense, you know. He's a beast. So anyway, let's get to it. I don't want to keep boring you guys. Did I say hi to everyone? Do we have anyone new? I don't see anyone new. Anyways, good morning, guys. Welcome to the show, and let's get to it.
Hey, that's Johnny K right there. We don't learn their. They learn ours. We don't learn theirs. Pastor need more names. Wow. I didn't even plan on reading that. I was like, oh, maybe I should go a little lower and look into it. Wow, more people giving a list here. I'm gonna have to look into these for another episode. Pastor Tim Hench.
So,
but the reason she made the post, how about?
Sorry, yeah,
right away. Someone says this.
You know, I'm still, like I said yesterday, I'm still getting my legs about me. So, anyways, let me read this post from Candace Owens. This was just last week. So Candace, on the November 29th, her post said, let me share the screen. Her post said, Pastor Challenge. Tomorrow is Sunday. I challenge you to get through the entire sermon, quote unquote, without mentioning me or Tucker Carlson. Because these pastors have been preaching from the pulpit about Candace Owens and about all their trips to Israel, basically going from YouTube to their itinerary and not from the Bible, and preaching these sermons to their congregations. So that was her challenge to the pastors last, I think it was Saturday. And she got a big, a lot of crazy replies. I'm going to read some of those replies, then we're going to get back to Coach Colin. Sorry, I just got a little out of thing. Pastor Evan Kilgore says, Pastor doesn't condemn Candace Owens in their Sunday sermon. One challenge level impossible. We both know they can't do that from Project Constitution. Joseph Gelman, he just has his little happy Thanksgiving from Qatar. But here we go from Dumasani, Washington. He writes, it is unnecessary for any pastor to mention yours or Tucker's name directly. You follow a long line of people already illustrated in Scripture: Haman, Sanballat, Tobiah, Amalek, Balaam, Jezebel, all mortal enemies of Philadelphia. Whenever I say Philadelphia, guys, that's what I'm talking about right there. If you can see the highlight, all gone, and Jewish people are still here. But just a lot of negativity. Some people were agreed with her, but like this person, Candace, nobody's preaching about you tomorrow. A few pastors corrected you, and suddenly you think they're centerpiece of Sunday service throughout the world. That's narcissism playing dress up as persecution. She never said throughout the world. She just said basically the pastors who've been preaching about me. I dare you to not preach about me tomorrow. She didn't mention any names. She didn't do anything. Here's this guy. How about accepting the challenge of giving every dime you monetize to Charlie's family? Let's talk about that for a second. Well, no, you guys would have to watch her show from yesterday. Because 2 weeks ago I would have seen that, and I support Candace in her investigation. I think she is bringing to light what is in the dark, and she's on a mission, and she's a lioness. But if I would have seen this, how about accepting the challenge and giving every dime you monetize to Charlie's family? And now in every one of these where there's Charlie's head, she has talked about Charlie Kirk and her investigation, and everyone is monetized, and she has the right to do that. And you don't know what she's going to do at the end. If she finds TPUSA at no fault, I promise you, and not loud and proud is what is with what she would be condemned for anyways if she was to give money to TPUSA from all the money she made off the investigation. I'm like, look, she doesn't need it. Of course, she has to, make a living, and but she could easily donate that to TPUSA if she could find them without fault. But right now, and you really have to watch yesterday's show. It's seeming, and when it all comes out, I'm going to do a big show, and I hope you guys are all there, about the conclusion of what has come to light, from Charlie Kirk's assassination. And it's going to be sad. I assure you guys, it's going to be very, very sad for everyone, for Christians, for atheists, for political dreamers who have dreams of being political servants, government servants, in our nation and abroad. It's really sad, but you know what? This had to happen. And that might be because, it's hard to understand what, like, man, why did they take Charlie? Because I truly believe it's God's will, and it's God's plan. And we won't know what the reasons of that, maybe never. But if what's happening is what I think is happening, he is not going to die in vain. He is not going to die in vain. And this might just be a cultural and political shift that our country has needed for a very, very, very long time. Like, look, guys, when I walk out into the streets of a city that I don't no longer live in Los Angeles, it is Babylon. It is strictly Babylon out there. And if you just go on X or any of these channels that are a little more lenient on all free speech, it seems like the world is coming to an end, right? It really does. It seems like the world's coming to an end. Hey guys, real quick, can I get you guys to smash that like button? So I keep forgetting, we've got to do it early in the show, so it shoots it out there and it lets my subscribers and possible people that might have left the show because I wasn't doing anything, to let everyone know that I'm back, and it just really helps the algorithm, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I would have agreed with that. You know what? Yeah. How about giving some of that money to your best friend's family at the very least? Well, let's just let this play out. So anyway, so that was the post, and those were some of the reaction. Let's listen to what Coach Colin has to say about it. I keep saying Coach Collins cares. You're welcome, James. You're just always on my mind, James. You're always on my mind. Hey, K. Perry, good to see you. I was wondering where you've been the past few days. Yes, would love to know. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, about that life insurance policy. It is an enigma. We are gonna try to figure that out. But okay, let's get to Coach Collins, and I'm tired of hearing my own voice. Yeah. So this is the response to everyone saying, no one's talking about you, Candace, you narcissist. This is the response we're getting from, truth seekers and truth tellers. Oh, I didn't have the tab up. Sorry, guys. Could you guys hear that? Sorry, guys. Okay, let me get back to it. See, there has to be at least one glitch a show, and that was it.
In their sermons. You see what I mean? You see how the game starts? They're all going to talk about her, and then as soon as she says anything, it's like, no one's actually talking about you. Man, there's really, I'm kind of worried about her. I mean, it's kind of, she thinks people are talking about her and nobody's talking about her. Wow, like someone should really look at that. I don't know if people should be listening to someone that has that. This is what makes me think that she's going to be back
Okay, here's
soon,
some of
or
the
there's not something that's
responses.
health related, but she is clapping back on people. She says, I was referring to Turning Point faith pastors that were trending for doing sermons about me over the last week. Not every pastor in the world. I can hear her saying that kind of thing, just very
You guys can hear it now, right? 5x5.
deadpan. Not every pastor in the world. Of course not. And you know, it's funny because you do have to make that distinction, because people, especially when it comes to Candace, and when it comes to, you know, it's the same type of thing happened with the Prez. I mean, people would just take things he would say out of context regularly and massively. And they'll do the same thing to Candace. I noticed that parallel between the two of them, quite honestly. Someone also took it there. Dinesh, this take.
Are you guys familiar with Dinesh D'Souza? Put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with Dinesh. I'm going to do a show on Dinesh very soon. Very, very, very soon. And I'm really disappointed in him. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to it.
Takes an egomania to a new level. If your pastor mentioned either of these two at church today, please provide his name below. I bet we won't find a single verified example of a pastor with any significant following mentioning them. You see that? You see how that works? It's so, to see it in real time. And again, to see it from the people who are supposed to be independent and critical thinkers and not a part of that terrible, icky mainstream system, for these people to be doing it, it's just like, where's the integrity? I can't believe it. And people are waking up to it right away. Someone says, this coming from a guy who has his mouth full of those specific names. Interesting. As he says, am I a pastor? Well, no, you're not. Somebody else jumps in right away and says, Rob McCoy mentions them constantly, Dinesh. Like, what are you talking about here? And somebody else says, not today, but the reason she made the post, how about Pastor Hibbs, Pastor Rob McCoy, whoa, I have to look up these names. Pastor Driscoll, Pastor Michael Stevens, Pastor. Oh, you think I'm pronouncing that name? No, sir. I will call him Pastor Washington, Pastor George Wells, Pastor Greer, Pastor Tim Hatch, Pastor. Oh, he's talking about Johnny K. That's Johnny K right there. We don't learn their. They learn ours. We don't learn theirs. Pastor need more names. Wow. I didn't even plan on reading that. I was like, oh, maybe I should go a little lower and look into it.
So
wow,
I mean,
more people giving a list here.
A ton of pastors.
Look into
that.
Look
at all those pastors
50
that
pastors
have been talking
explicitly
about
named Tucker Carlson.
Wow, daily,
the call out is
every
insane.
sermon, and then their post
Tucker Carlson and Candace.
Sorry, you guys probably couldn't hear me over that. On a daily with posts, and then throughout the week, all these pastors are coming out against Candace. And a lot of these people were Charlie's friend. And look, they can twist it up and say, not they could, they do. They twist it and say, oh, she's being disrespectful. She's trying to tear down Charlie and making Charlie look bad. She's not making Charlie look bad. Not even a little bit. And she would hate to see TPUSA go down in burning flames. She would hate. She was part of the juggernaut that helped build TPUSA along with Charlie. I mean, Charlie and her probably were the most two talented debaters and speakers in TPUSA, which is, Charlie's baby. And out of respect for Charlie, she would never do that maliciously. She just wouldn't. There hasn't been one thing that not any one of these people, and like, look, there's so much, like, I'm not even going to get into the financials and all those things, but that any of these pastors or any of the figureheads at TPUSA shouldn't be cheering her on to do. Let's just take that point and just break it quickly down without a Samsplain. If someone was investigating my friend or my boss being assassinated, what do I care? What do I care if they're saying things that are disrespectful towards Israel or someone I support? And they're not even disrespectful. She wasn't even accusing Philadelphia. Did I say it? Damn. Philadelphia of doing anything. There was some inference, if we're honest. Like, look, I'm not I'm not going to be a complete, for lack of a better term, like, look, I'm a crude man, nut swinger about Candace. Like, look, we know what she was doing, and it ignited exactly what she wanted it to do, to where she could say either way, no, that's not, you're misconstruing now. Why are you being so defensive? Or she can stand on all 10 toes and say, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. As more proof and evidence is coming to light, she's able to stand on all 10 toes and say, look, punks, you guys are punks, and you guys knew it all along. This is why you're trying to cancel me. This is why you're sicking this Zionist army against me. Yeah. The people that claim to be his friend and their friend / boss have formed an opposition of Zionist angry militants. If it was on the left, it'd be like an angry lesbian militant feminist, but you wouldn't do that to someone seeking the truth for someone you loved. And like, look, better on her, right? Like if she's doing things that are going to get her in trouble or get herself canceled, like permanently, look, that's on her. But she says she wants the truth. I want the truth. So look, I can just sit here and be, what's that word? A cuck? A cuck. And it's probably not even the right use of it, but you guys know what I mean. And I can just be like, go Candace, go, while I'm safe back here, and you get all the flack and you get all the dissension. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. And I'm glad I took this time off. And I talked about the first show back. And if you haven't seen that, go back and replay that. And I'm not even saying that for clicks and views. I'm saying go back and watch that. And you can see it in my eyes that I was tired and exhausted. And I talked about just the information overload of all the uncertainty, what is real, what is not real. But what I landed on is like, you know what? For right now, it doesn't affect me. And I can talk about it without being letting it affect me negatively emotionally, because I don't have fear about these things anymore. Because that's what I was living in fear. But I trust in who I know I can always trust in, and that is God. And man, just after changing that quick little perception about our world today, and if you guys are struggling with that, I mean, and if you have a faith to lean in on that faith, as long as it's not like tarot cards or talking to ghosts, because those could be demons. I think that I'm just at more peace, and that's why I was able to come back and do the show again. It truly is. And it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I promise I wasn't going to slam splain. You guys let me know if Auntie Monkey Pants gets here, because that would be amazing. Hey, Grateful, good to see you. I have missed you the past few shows, and it's awesome to see your face. I'm so glad you're here. Anyone else new to the show? Did I miss anyone? Okay. Did I say hi to at FemSci? Well, at FemSci, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here and participating in the show. Let's move forward. I guess I wanted to finish my point that, there's a lot, and smarter people than me are the ones that can figure that out. And I would love to be in the position to where I could just cheer Candace on to find out the truth for my friend. It would have been amazing to have a friend like that when I've had tragedy in my life, like when I lost my wife to a drunk driver. And I forgot to mention this the other day too. I've told it before, but when I lost my older brother to a drunk driver when I was 17, and when my friend took her own life, I would have loved to have had a friend that wanted truth and justice. That would have been amazing. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to show? I don't know if he showed any clips. Oh, is this Jack Hibbs? Here we go.
That comes out of his mouth is Candace. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Here, listen to this. Just real quick.
Charlie Kirk's pastor, Rob McCoy. Rob and I have been friends for years, and he just last week met with
the Prime Minister of Philadelphia.
And he called me about some other things related to the meeting, but he said, look, how about we address the whole
anti-Philadelphia
thing? I think it's a great idea. So he's coming along with Sammy Smaja from his
Philadelphia.
I'll give you more information about who he is. But
that's why originally I chose to have this, because Coach Colin will substitute the country for Philadelphia, and if I was going to play this, I wouldn't want it played because you get shadow banned. But anyways,
a Wednesday night service, January the 21st. My staff doesn't even know about this, so there's no slide for you. I'm just giving you a preview. On Wednesday night, January the 21st, we're going to tackle this subject. And I feel like it's time to address what some of you have been wondering about too. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. Listen, and Candace has been throwing shade on Calvary Chapel. We are a Calvary Chapel. And so why is she going after Calvary's? What is all this
anti-Philadelphia
coming out of her mouth, out of Tucker's mouth? We're going to address it. We're going to take it head on Wednesday night, January the 21st. Yeah, we need to talk about this.
It's
do
very
you
odd
need to talk about that? Do you? I guess if, because Candace is, she's not the first one to investigate Calvary Chapel. Even here in my own state in Kalispell, there was a huge controversy of a PDF pastor that was, how crazy is this? Talk about small world. But the PDF pastor was from I grew up in Redondo Beach. His place was in Manhattan Beach, and they had a daycare, a Christian daycare, and it was one of the biggest stories that in my life. It's the first time I ever heard of anything like that going on when I was a teenager. And that guy ended up coming up here after he got out of prison and having another big controversy up here at a church in Whitefish, Montana. So Candace isn't putting Calvary Chapel on the map for in opposition of Calvary Chapel. She's just pointing out things that are amiss. Again, inspecting fruit. So let's play a little bit more. Let me see what else.
The thing that needs to be tackled. I've never ran into a church like that where they're like, we need to talk about podcasters and you need to know what's really going on. I've never ran into that before. Never. Imagine one day they start doing it about me and then I go into that church and I'm there. Oh man. Terrifying. I'm not for, I don't like the debate. I don't like confrontation. I don't like where it can go. I've seen where confrontation can go. I'm not into it myself.
Damn it. I lost my point. I was going to say something about that. Give me 1 second. Can I remember? Damn it. He made me laugh and I forgot my point. Oh yeah. Even when and to his point about podcasters and everyone talking about all this during a sermon, my wife will attest to this. We went to church that following Sunday. Well, we try to go to church every Sunday, but we went to church the following Sunday, and our church mentioned it almost as in passing. What they did talk about was all the new people, the harvest, right? That the assassination kind of ignited there for a while, and maybe still kind of a revival. And for the next 3 weeks, that's what we talked about. We talked about the revival that was happening in America, and not the players, and really not even really Charlie per se. I mean, maybe and mention, to the tragedy of, our brother, Charlie. Look at the revival, so some good has come out of it. They talked about the positives. They're not saying, when I go to Philadelphia next week with their phone, I'm going to talk about this with Bibi, and with some Mossad agents, which is what happened. That's a true story. Anyways, it's unbelievable to me. Let me get back to it, guys. Sorry.
So that would be terrifying for me. I'd be like, okay, hey guys, I'm gonna head out. No, don't worry. Of course you didn't know I was here. It's cool. I'm gonna take my kids. I'm gonna take my wife. I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave you guys to it. No. Go ahead. No, it's complete. I'm sure you're right about some things. Bye. That's what I would do. I hope. I've been asking for patience. I've been asking for patience and wisdom recently. So I hope that's what I do.
Thank you, Ed
anyway,
Sapp.
I don't think that much of myself. No one's talking about me.
Okay, hopefully he talks about this pastor. This is the pastor that came out and said, he said some bad shit. Where hopefully he plays it right now. Where he was saying, Candace this, Candace that, and whatever, and nobody applauded. And he's like, no, you guys can applaud. I came here to get some applause or whatever. You can't. That's actually a brainwashing technique, where you tell a captive audience, and they're not captive per se, but they're there. No one wants to get up and leave, because you don't want to be seen as the one leaving. Even when my wife needs to use the restroom when we're at church, I just like going, oh man, it's because I worry too much about that stuff. But that's just me. And no one wants to be seen leaving in a sermon, unless you want to make a statement by leaving. But anyways, you say, you need to clap for that. And, everyone's like, oh, okay. It was like this. Listen, it was just like this. Okay. And then he said it again, and it was, okay. But you know what he never got? He never got that. He never got that kind of response, because people don't come to church to hear about that. They just don't. And I get it. TPUSA is a political conservative movement. We read the definition of TPUSA yesterday, and what their mission is, and their so anyways, that's who this guy is. And actually, I just seen that Didi. Have you guys ever watched him? He's a young black brother who's his name's Didi Podcast or something like that. And he interviewed this pastor, and it's epic. It's epic, and I'm sure Didi would let me cover that. And maybe on the way out today, we'll watch that, little clips from that. And it was epic.
Anyway, we're back to Johnny K, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny K's in the building. Check out what Johnny K has to say about this clip, about this girl. You remember the girl who was calling out Johnny? The girl who said, hey, man, this guy was saying all this stuff. This sermon was terrible, right? It was in the last episode that I showed you guys. And her first video was in the episode before that. Now, this guy says, my latest sermon is one of the most viral, edited sermons in the world. Not true. Emphasis on edited. Not because I shared it, because a detractor who came to start a ruckus. This guy.
A ruckus. And how? Do you guys know what that's from, Little Rascals? And how? Come on, Spanky, let's go cause a ruckus. Yeah, that's pretty funny. And you know what? I like this pastor. Like what he does, like when he's not talking bad about Candace, or about dissension from Philadelphia, he does some amazing things. And we'll see if Coach Colin talks about that. But on this stuff, you know, he's a little whack.
What? I don't like this guy, but I love this guy. You know, he's like, what she did was dastardly. These dastardly deeds. Oh, you just came in here to cause a ruckus. I know people like you just causing ruckus and rigmarole. He for sure loves the word rigmarole. You hit him with that rigmarole, he'll be like, give it up to me, man. Give me 5 on the black side. Go ahead. He for sure loves that. Start a ruckus, left convicted, and cut to the heart while trying to stir up trouble. I owe her. All things work together for the good. Listen to my sermon in its entirety below. This is just amazing because he's taking that girl again. This girl, she literally was just like, I was at a Turning Point Faith event. This is what happened. I didn't like what was going on. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
Also, guys, stay tuned to the end of the show. If you guys don't agree with me on anything, let's talk about it at the end. That is going to be the time for discussion. Also, if you guys have any recovery issues, any spiritual questions that I'm not saying I would have those answers, but this community is bad to the bone. And we have people of all walks of life and of all a couple of different religions and beliefs. And if there's any questions, we as a collective, we will have the best answer without going to ChatGPT that we can give you.
That's all it was. She was just calling it out for what it was. He then goes on to call her a leftist troll. Okay, fine. She responds and says, that's not true. I'm actually not that at all. And I was there because I'm actually a believer and I'm actually someone who was a follower of Charlie Kirk. And, you know, it was just so wild that he took that route. And now he is doubling down on that, even though we all know.
Cool.
This is why I'm saying they're in panic mode.
Cool. We're going to get to watch a little bit of this, but I just love Coach Colin, man. And I'm not trying to clip too much of his content because I don't want this to be like a parallel show with Coach Colin. Respectfully, I think he wouldn't mind because I'm going to send, you know, everyone who watches this to Coach Colin. But hey, Jen, good to see you. You guys don't forget to let me know if Anti-Monkey Pants comes. And also, Jen, thank you so much for the text yesterday. Did I respond that? Yeah, I forgot. I responded. Hopefully that alleviates any concern. So thank you. I appreciate the concern.
Here. This is panic mode. This is clearly this Operation Mocking Pastor. This is a real thing because you have to see if he saw her video, then he knows what she said and he knows there's a second video. So he's looking at that video and going, I'm just going to keep calling her that. Forget it. She came to start a ruckus. She didn't come to start.
I just want to address ASAP really quick. ASAP says, and I don't want to get into the chat too much, but I just certain things I don't want to I want to address before I forget. And ASAP knows our hearts here, and so she knows she's in a safe place. But she says, gosh, I've been teaching myself tarot, more specifically planetary alignments. I have to say it's actually awakened my spirituality. Same. That's what I wanted to say. Same. Along with my wife. Same. Before me. I was saved when we met. And her brother was exactly where you're at, maybe even a little bit farther down the line. He came to visit us, and we're telling him how on fire we are for God and Jesus in a respectful way. Just like we weren't trying to convert him or anything. And he was basically saying, you know what, we're all gonna turn to crystals eventually. And like we were like, whoa, it was something like that. I'm not being disrespectful to him because he is one of because he's a smart guy. He's a super smart guy. But he's a Christian now. And that opened it up. And I'm not saying that's the path you're on, you're on your path, your specific path, wherever that takes you, it might lead you to the Quran and you find God that way. It's I just want you to know that, and Kim is probably, her head's probably exploding right now because I'm probably supposed to tell you, it's demonic and it's that and this and I don't know that to be true. And I'm not saying that would be Kim's response, but I just use her as an example because I know that she is really strong in her faith and knows the Bible and the teachings better than I do. So anyways, love you, ASAP. I'm so glad you're here. Missed you the past couple of days. And I talked about you on the first show back. I think.
Start a ruckus. You wouldn't even know she was there. She's not like one of those activists that like holds up a sign. She tries to run on stage, holds up a sign, just lets people just drag them around, and then they glue their hands to the stage. She wasn't one of those people. Absolutely amazing.
Okay,
We have to get to the main part of this. The edited clip. He said, listen to it in its entirety below. Well, guess what? I'm below. Check it out. We're below now, guys. This is just it in its entirety. Let's play this, okay? Because I want to see what I got wrong. I have to see what I got wrong. Somebody bamboozled me. I know this guy loves that word. He for sure. Somebody bamboozled me. I started one of my videos and lied to me. Obviously, that's what's happened, right? So let's play this and see the edit. Let's see the raw footage. Let's go.
So contrary to what Candace Owens is saying, who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife. I mean, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks.
That's a lie.
She's evil. That's what it is. And a big hand clap goes there. Don't get shy on me tonight.
There you go. Yeah. Let me get a big hand clap. Don't get shy on me tonight. Yes, Pastor, look. Yeah.
Ain't the one. I came too far to play around. It's evil. It's corrupt. It should not take place. She sounds like a jaded person who wish they were in the role that Charlie Kirk's wife is in, but she isn't. And so therefore she seeks to tear down his legacy. And at some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that podcast room and start unplugging cords. I mean,
No. I want to talk to Mark here real quick. Mark White. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna save it for the end. That's definitely not what I'm saying. And I don't know who's saying that, but I'm super interested in having a discussion with you.
I mean, by now I would have already done it if it was my wife. I'm yanking cords. I'm shutting down the camera, shut down the ATM. Sweetie, get up, get out of this room, and can you please help out with the kids? Because this is a dastardly deed that is being done. I thought that the greatest foe that we would have to contend with after the assassination of Charlie Kirk would be the left. But sadly, it's friendly fire from the right. I'm moving on.
Okay. All right. Well, that was just the straight facts, guys, just so you know, right? But here's the thing. He just saw the clip. He just commented on the clip. He said he stands by every single word. Okay.
It's the same exact thing that he said was edited. Nothing has been edited. It was the same exact clip. But if you're just to read that and say you don't have time to watch the unedited version, you're going to say, well, this gentleman's a pastor, right? Not that they're infallible, but but he's a pastor. He's saying, oh no, my shit's been edited. Here's the unedited version. If I'm in a hurry, or if I'm my old self who wasn't a YouTuber and like research stuff like this, I would keep it pushing. And I'd be like, man, I knew that dude was lying. I knew them fools were lying, and not the pastor. I would think, damn, man, that Candace, she's a liar.
This is the clip. It's reposted by him and posted by him. So he posted the clip and then reposted it. And today he's saying that the clip was edited. So I'm confused now. Now I'm confused because I'm going to go to this clip. This is the clip he claims is massively edited. Okay, let's check it out. Maybe it's not the same clip.
So contrary to what Candace Owens is saying, who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife. I mean, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks.
Where this sounds the same. John Amenchuku, Mr. Amenchuku Senior. Listen, there's a junior somewhere. There's a junior somewhere in 2025 going, just call me Johnny K. Where is the difference? There's no difference. I don't understand.
She's evil. Far to play around.
She's evil. I came too far to play
There's
around,
actresses
y'all.
who wish they were in the role that Charlie Kirk gets in. At some point, her husband shut down the camera, shut down the thought that the greatest foe. Right. I'm moving on.
Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree that Candace's husband, well, I mean, you guys are all pro-truth, seeking truth seekers, getting to the bottom of it. So you're probably, I don't want to say pro-Candace, but, agree that Candace is doing the right thing for the most part. So, but what he's saying and has said is that he's like, where's her husband at? Her husband should be shutting that shit down. He should be out in there unplugging wires and, telling her to get that apron on and flip her shoes off and get to cooking. That's basically what he's saying. So I don't know if he meant it like that, but that's what he said. From what I know, Mr. Farmer is complete and totally supports his wife. I mean, look, he fell in love with her when she gave a speech for Brexit. So he's not going to try to change the things that he fell in love with her for. Stop. I want you to be someone who you're not and someone who I didn't fall in love with. Please stop doing what you're doing. Come on now. You're trying to bamboozle me. We ain't causing a ruckus here in my chat.
I'm moving on too, Johnny. Okay?
Yeah, we're moving on.
You shared the clip.
Thanks,
and then you reposted the clip. And now you're saying that the clip that you shared and reposted, of which he's...
So, TPUSA, faith. I am so disappointed. Even I never thought I'd be saying those words. But you recently had a pastor speak at one of your events, and the first things he says, he doesn't start out with anything biblical. He goes, Candace Owens is a
anti-Philadelphia.
You can't hurt anyone's feelings by calling them this or that anymore. It's so overplayed, and I'm just done with it. This new generation, I give them so much credit because they are thinking the same thing I'm thinking, which is all these people are paid off. You can't convince them otherwise. There's no going back. No pastor, no nothing is going to convince this newer generation. It's just, it's done. I don't even know where to start on this.
I love it. I love it.
And I didn't even get to that part, the payoff. And if you go watch Candace's show from yesterday, there's a payoff, and it's ugly, and it's very sad, and I don't want to think about it too much. I'm just here to expose whatever I can in my little world over here, and so I can process through what's going on. But it's big, and these guys are, for a lack of a better term, charlatans, in a sense. Especially Rob McCoy. I don't even want to call him a pastor. He's not a pastor to anyone. They tried to say that he was USA's pastor because he was Charlie Kirk's pastor, but now he's the pastor for America. He put himself in that position. Charlie said it once, 2 years ago, but he put himself as America's pastor. Those were his words. Crazy. At Charlie's extravaganza memorial, the big extravagant memorial.
Of it. That is exactly it. Nobody is being fooled anymore. Nobody's going to hear this from 20 different voices all speaking in unison and go, well, that must be the truth. Now, when we hear that, we think the exact opposite. We go, oh, there's something wrong with that. That's not how people work. People don't speak in unison like they're in a hive mind and they're all connected by Neuralink. That's not how people talk. At least not until 2028, or at least 2030. Maybe then people will talk like that. But for now, people don't talk like that unless there's some kind of incentive, unless there's been some kind of exactly what Candace said in the clip that I played previously.
Okay, let's move on from Coach, man. We've watched a lot of Coach. Let's go over see what Baron Coleman's doing. That's my man. Baron got me 80,000 hits on a show. 80,000 views hits. What am I talking about? 80,000 views for a show that I covered on Baron before he was famous, before he was a big podcaster. I was watching Baron and did a show about him, and literally 80,000 views almost overnight, man. I was so excited. I was dancing. I was like, Daddy's getting a payday. Daddy's getting a payday. Just kidding. Oh, and I forgot to monetize it for like the first 4,000 or 5,000 views. So, that's probably like $30 or something like that. It's not really a big payday, but oh, I don't even want to get into the French Connection today. I'm just here to talk about TPUSA Faith. Look at that. He reviews his super chats for literally an hour and 45 minutes of going over super chats. Look at that. Jeez, Baron, you've come a long way, man. Come a long way. Congratulations, though, man. Congratulations. I don't think I have the right show, and I'm not even playing it. So I'm glad you guys have stayed with me. Here, just give me a second. I'm going to find the right show. Here we go.
But then we'll hear about the phone calls. And I want to put the phone calls in context of what everybody else, including.
So we're gonna talk about Pastor Rob McCoy now. We're gonna just get into this for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get to the chat, and we're gonna have a badass discussion like we did yesterday and the day before. And man, life is good right now, isn't it? Let's all just take a second and just be grateful that we're healthy, that we're all here together and alive. And it's just amazing. All right, let's get to Baron.
Including Andrew Colvett, including Blake Neff, including everybody has said up to this point. And then I want to put the timeline in front of you and say, is this rational? Is this logical? Could this have happened? So let me get to some of this. Of course, the name of the sermon is called The Church in Israel. Would you believe it? Rob McCoy gave a sermon, and it's all about Israel. I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked. I know you can't believe it.
I'm only playing this because
So let me share this here and jump right into it. This is the setup of the entire sermon.
I'll give you an example, and I won't share anything that hasn't already been shared publicly. I've chosen to remain silent simply because I was Charlie's pastor, and I'm ministering now to his widow. And if she doesn't want to speak, I won't speak. A servant speaks when he's spoken to, and he offers his opinion when he's asked. And God's called me to serve Charlie and serve Erica. That being said, things have been shared on the show, and things that I can speak to. Number one, I'm being accused of murder.
Let me see if I can turn that up a little bit, guys. Sorry about that. Gosh, guys, sorry, man. I hate this stuff. Watching a podcaster tech is would not be my favorite thing to do. So just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to turn up this sermon.
Murdering Charlie or being complicit in the murder of Charlie, as is my son Michael.
There was the Michael. I've not heard him refer to Mikey as Michael, but I was given a tip from someone who knew them growing up by email. Email comes in and says, hey, I knew these guys growing up. I've been around for a long time, and they sent it from an anonymous email account, so I'm taking them at face value. They gave me some information that made me believe they were telling the truth. And he said, I can assure you Michael was Michael, not Mikey. That he became Mikey when he went to work for Charlie. So I noticed that. But now we're about to get into the extra phone call that took place that none of us heretofore had known about.
And it all stemmed from a Sunday service I gave 72
Okay.
hours after Charlie was murdered, the first Sunday after his murder. And I'd gotten a call the day of the shooting from my son. And he had made, I think, 2 phone calls before he called me. One to his wife, obviously, very short call. I think the other was to Erica to tell.
All right, there it was. We'll get into that. We have been told that Mikey McCoy had to immediately turn away from his dying friend because he had been drilled into his head since he started working at TPUSA. If anything ever happens to Charlie Kirk, the very first thing you do is call Erica. Not go try to help your friend. You go tell Erica. You call Erica. Drill, 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 drill. If you listen, they talk drillium, drill, 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 drill. And so all of a sudden, we've been introduced to a third phone call. Now, I'm going to put the timeline up in front of you and ask, is it possible that Mikey McCoy made 3 phone calls? Because we have a timeline that we know for sure based on Blake Neff. Blake Neff puts a phone call up. I'll show it in a minute, but puts a phone call up from his mom and said, I called my mom when Mikey called his dad. And it was 1 minute after the gunshot. And Blake Neff even says, I got to Mikey within 15 to 20 seconds.
So he's talking about, you know, the assassination and what happened and how Mikey just kind of walked away. We're kind of past that, you know, as collectively as a group. So I'm going to try to just get to more of this sermon.
To this clip, and then I'm going to pull up the others that can prove all of these calls, if they took place in under a minute and a half. But we continue with Rob the Sailor Man.
My wife, and there was panic in the house, and everyone calmed down.
And let me remind you, he's doing this on a sermon. This is a sermon that he's doing this. I think it's unfaithful.
Prayed, started making calls. We packed bags to get to Utah. On the way to the airport, we were informed that Charlie had died.
And I think I found the flight that they took to the airport. I think I found that flight, and that timeline does make sense. That the announcement that Charlie.
So basically, I'm just showcasing that, like, look, they're not talking about God. They're not. I don't even see his Bible up there at the podium. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I mean, this whole sermon is about Charlie and his kid, and on how he's America's pastor. And I do want to play one last thing from Rob McCoy or from this video. And it's where he denounces JD Vance, who we all know is JD took Charlie's body home. And is a huge supporter of TPUSA. But look what America's pastor, the TPUSA Faith co-founder, which he did not co-found. This is what he said about our vice president. And I just want to state and real quickly is that a lot of you guys have been like, oh, Sam, our political views don't line up, but I love being here and a part of the show, and I love you being here, being a part of the show. But if you thought last year that your political views didn't line up with me, you might be surprised on where I land today with my political views, and I'll just say I'm homeless. I'm politically homeless. Okay, let's get to it.
Now, let's get to Rob McCoy talking about how strong Charlie's neck is. You will not believe what you're about to see.
The clip.
You will not believe what you're about to see. I promise.
Ooh.
Now, I want to get to this.
Said I promise. We don't like that word here. Can anyone remember why we don't like the word promise here?
The crux, in my opinion, of what he says in this entire sermon.
Here we go.
This is the cause for my entire opening.
This is really just to show you how crazy it has gotten. Listen to America's pastor.
You guys will never believe who is on the team. He's on the team. I hear time and time again the same Ian, Tucker, Candace. Guess who's on the team, according to Rob McCoy? I don't know if we got to get him a jersey. What? According to Rob McCoy, J.D. Vance is out when it comes to TPUSA faith, the pro-Israeli cause, and the support of this crew for the next president of the United States.
Look, I get it. Diversity, equity, and inclusion and critical race theory has caused white young males to be the bottom of the totem pole. And that's why they gravitate towards the Nick Fuenteses of the world, and the Candace Owens, and the Tucker Carlsons, and God forbid, J.D. Vance.
Did you guys hear that? I'm going to replay that, and I'm going to turn it up a tad. Let me just turn this up as much as I can. I know I'm super loud right now, but I had to do that to turn this up, guys. I'm doing this just so you guys can hear it.
Now, I want to get to this, the crux, in my opinion, of what he says.
Bottom of the totem pole. And that's why they grab
For the next president of the United States.
Look, I get it. Diversity, equity, and inclusion and critical race theory has caused white young males to be the bottom of the totem pole. And that's why they gravitate towards the Nick Fuenteses of the world, and the Candace Owens, and the Tucker.
He said, I don't know if you guys could hear it because it's kind of hard. Let me see. I'm just going to play it one more time, guys. Sorry, I know. And then we'll get to the chat.
Race theory has caused white young males to be the bottom of the totem pole. And that's why they gravitate towards the Nick Fuenteses of the world, and the Candace Owens, and the Tucker Carlsons, and God forbid, J.D. Vance.
God forbid, J.D. Vance.
Did you hear that?
He's lumping J.D. Vance in with Nick Fuentes, Candace, and Tucker, saying that they're all against Philadelphia and are no friend to TPUSA. Wrap your mind around that for a second. To say that our vice president isn't on team TPUSA it's slanderous. It's libel for real. I mean, financially it's not. So I guess technically it's not, but you get what I'm saying. I'm going to turn me back down just a little bit, guys. So it's crazy. And he's preaching that from the pulpit. And that's why I say TPUSA is unfaithful to not just TPUSA's vision with Charlie Kirk, but now that he's gone, it's all changed. And again, I know this is redundant, but please go watch Candace's show from yesterday. There's been some questions answered. It's such a technical situation with the finances of TPUSA, with the Macrons, France, the French Foreign Legion, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And if you guys can help me make it make sense, please do so in the chat right now. I'm coming to the chat. And if you guys have a question, remember, you can use the super chat and I will see your question. But of course, that's not mandatory, not on my show, not yet at least. When we get bigger, hopefully, or not hopefully, I'm so torn with that. I talked about that yesterday. We can it'll be super chat read questions and comments only, but as it stands now, it's a free for all. So you guys just let me know what questions you might have or comments. Please see here someone asking about Russ. Hey, how's Russ doing? Does he have his own channel? Russ doesn't have his own channel. Talk to Russ probably once a week. And his he wants to do night yard with me, or yard time, or we call it the night yard. Did you guys lose me for a second? I'm gonna switch it back to night yard, and you guys will see Russ once a week on Sunday nights. So that's how Russ is doing, but he's doing good. Russ is doing good. Absolutely. Caddy, Connie, and Loudmouth Linda, good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you made the show today. We are just talking about TPUSA and how unfaithful they have been to the cause and to the truth about Charlie Kirk's assassination. As a lot of people and a lot of, like, our president has been strangely quiet on all of this. I feel like he might be a little gun shy because he's written some checks his ass can't cash, to quote Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. And so I feel like he's being a little gun shy right now, and which is right. It just blows your mind. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like we are having a little bit of connection problems, guys, but I'm just going to see how you guys are doing. Someone said the Macrones. ASAP Lizzie said the Macrones, question mark. Yeah. They are involved in a lot more than what we might have believed before. But really, now the question is, because there was one of those planes that were from Egypt that was on the ground in Orem, Utah, that had been following the Kirks around for the past couple of years. And it's possible that the First Lady of France or First Gentleman of France might have been on that plane. And so, yeah, we're trying to figure out. Rosanna, Dana in the house. I wish you had a sound, Rosanna, Dana. We're going to loan you James's sound just for today. James is like, damn it. Good to see you, Rosanna, Dana. It's been a while. Hopefully you get to go back and watch the past couple of shows. The Morning Mayhem show is back in full swing, maybe even stronger and better than before. And so, yeah, it's good to see you. We're still missing Auntie Monkey Pants, and I would really love to see her today because I have a surprise. I'm just going to end up showing you guys. Oh, I know. I'm going to show you guys, and just so you can be like, ooh, she's going to love that. So, and I don't have any questions or comments now. So, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. Yeah, lots of controversy surrounding Macron and his wife. His gentleman wife. So when Auntie Monkey Pants, remember every time she comes and I sing a song and I go, we are Auntie Monkey Pants. I love Auntie Monkey Pants. And I said, oh man, I need to get her a song. Same thing with Shell Dub. But Shell Dub's got a song in the works too. But I finished Auntie Monkey Pants' song. Yeah, I heard you went back to work, Caddy, Connie and Loudmouth, or Caddy Connie. That's amazing. I don't know what those crowns mean, Ned and Coco Speech Shop. I think maybe you're number 3 for having posted the most comments on the live chat. But anyways, so when Auntie Monkey Pants gets here, this is the surprise I have for her. That's crazy.
Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she is to me. Her name is Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she'll always be. She likes monkeys, she wears pants. She's Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she is to me. Her name is Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she'll always be. I am Auntie Monkey Pants, she's Auntie Monkey Pants. We love Auntie Monkey Pants, we love him on weekends.
Okay. Isn't that badass? Oh man, I love it. I love it. There's actually 2 of them, but that's the one I'm going to show her first. This is the second one. I'll just show you guys this one real quick too, but don't tell her. Shh, it's a secret.
Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she is to me. Her name is Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she'll always be. She likes monkeys, she wears pants. She's Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she is to me. Her name is Auntie Monkey Pants, that's what she'll always be. Hey, Auntie Monkey Pants!
Those are great, man. I love those. That's so funny. All right, let's since we're not really having a discussion about anything about what we watched today, I think we're all in agreement for the most part. It's been a lot. Of course, a lot of money's involved. We're talking millions and possibly over $1 billion involved. With the DuPonts, the French, the state of France, or the country. I say state because it's in the EU. It's all just nuts, right? It's all just nuts, and we're getting to the bottom of it, and we're going to be right here on After the Bars in the Morning Mayhem Show. We're going to report on it. And I mean, there's so many more things that I could talk about today, and this could be a 4 or 5 hour show. Things that I would want to talk about. But I want to show you guys a real quick clip. Yeah. Let me just find it real quick, guys. Um, okay, so I'm going to play this, guys. Well, I mean, this might be a little too religious for you guys for the chat. I'm just trying to decide, and I need to do it quickly because we can't have a bunch of dead air. I didn't like that take on it. I know I can go to my history. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. Remember, guys, if you guys want to talk about anything, go ahead and put a comment or a Q in the chat. Don't leave me hanging. There was an awesome interview. I'm going to share this tab. There was an awesome interview of Nick Fuentes from the what's his name? The Tommy G. Nick, and I'm not saying I'm a fan or a detractor from Nick Fuentes. I'm on the fence. But you know, he's grown up a little bit, and he's gaining some popularity, and I don't necessarily disagree with some of the things, but I strongly but he does this interview with Tommy G, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. He kind of explains, you know, like when he's trolling, when he's not, you know, and there's no rules in this game. Like he can do whatever he wants. We can just choose not to watch him. I just wanted to show you guys what he says about Christianity, but I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyways, I'll find it for tomorrow, guys. We'll just go ahead and end the show. Shell Dub says she doesn't know much about Nick Fuentes. You know, I'm learning a little bit. I'm learning a little bit more about him each day, and you know, some of the things I didn't like about him, like his love of Stalin. He explains that in the Tommy G thing, and it's not. He absolutely does not like him as a person. He was just talking about, man, he did a lot, and you know, really more than even Hitler, and it's true. It's true, and it's crazy that he doesn't get talked about, or at least in the same conversation as with old Adolf. But anyways, guys, I'm just gonna end it. Tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll start the show, and we'll talk about Nick Fuentes a little bit. How about that? And we will review what Candace comes on and says today. So yeah, so why don't we just do that? We'll make this a listening party tomorrow of Candace's show that she puts out today. We'll talk about that a little bit. I have a tattoo tomorrow, so I might just do like a quick hour show tomorrow. And man, thank you guys so much for being here today. I've missed you all so much, and now we're all here together. The band is back together again. Where's my applause? I really got to get better at that. Doing the sounds without me going like that. Thank you everybody for coming out today. I hope to see you tomorrow. I'll try to put out the thumbnail tonight. That way you guys can get the notification. Please like the show today on your way out if you're here. Wow, there's only 8 of you here now. Did I lose everybody? Wow, I don't know how it went from 30 to 8. That's crazy. Well, anyways, probably because I said I was going to end the show and I was just teching around. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Remember, be kind to each other, most importantly. And you guys all are so kind to each other here. in this community. But more importantly, after the show, be kind to yourself. Maybe try to do some self-care today. Do something, and everything will be all right. I know that sounds so trite. I'm gonna come up with a better ending, I promise. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mahalo.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake.